I like the fact that there's some sort of preference that we can try and get an advantage. But yeah, I think the groundsman done a fantastic job with the heat. It's been very, very hot, and the wicket looks good. It looks like it's going to be a good cricket wicket. Nothing, obviously we'll have to see, but just from an outside perspective, it looks like it's going to be exactly what we wanted. Yeah, perfect ball would be a quick wicket that nips around a bit. I don't know if you'll get that. But it looks like it's going to do that, and obviously trying to eliminate spin as much as possible. As I said, it's been very, very hot and very, very dry in Cape Town, so credit to the groundsman for making it look like it's going to play that way. When we played Sri Lanka here last time, it was a really good wicket that he prepared for us. But yeah, you don't want excessive movement, seam movement, because that brings both bowling attacks into the game. We feel with our seam resources on a good wicket that's got a bit of pace and bounce, we can exploit some of those areas in their batting lineup. I think India was extreme conditions, and we find that very challenging. We find that very difficult. England was challenging as well, but I think that series comes down to the personnel. We lost two very important members of our bowling attack, and I've said that many times. If you lose one or two of Rabada, Steyn, Morkel or Philander, it's a very, very difficult to replace those, because with Test cricket you need consistent skill. So when we lost Vernon that series, it was big for us, and obviously we had no Steyn, and Rabada missed one Test match as well. So it's a combination of those two. But in general, as you said, there is a bit of a continuous happening now where the teams are struggling away from home, and we are very proud of our record going away from home. Obviously we didn't do well in the last two, but still, if you compare us to the rest of the world, we're up there with the best. This selection is probably one of the hardest that we're going to have to make. It's really tough. There's just so many combinations that you can look at, but I suppose it is a nice headache to have. But yeah, it's a possibility, especially up in the Highveld. But we're still talking about what's going to be our strongest 11. So I would like to give you a bit of insight into it, but not quite yet. I think always when you're playing strong teams in big series, as your 7 to 11 has got a lot of importance and value in the amount of runs that they can score. I think, as using a reference now in England and Australia, the England tail is not scoring a lot of runs, so you're not getting that 50 to 80 extra runs, which keeps the opposition a little bit longer in the field, and 50 to 80 runs, especially in South African conditions, will add a lot of pressure on the opposition. What's really important with AB is that he's fresh and he's hungry to score big runs. That's certainly the case with him right now. He's had a good break, he hasn't played a lot of cricket, so he feels mentally strong and he wants to put in big performances. So I think that's half the battle already. When you've got a high class quality player like himself, if you can get the mental side of things right, I think he's going to be a good asset for us in this series. And the same thing with Hashim. I mean, Hashim has scored some good runs later previous series for us. I mean, I know, no disrespect to Bangladesh series, I know their bowling attack is not as strong as the Indian one, but you can only score runs against the team that you play, and Hashim was superb through that series. I think they only got him out like 2 or 3 times the whole series. So if you take that, he's in really good form. It's good that we can have some importance to this series. I mean, big series is why you play. We don't have Ashes, so it's good to see that the Indian cricket team versus South African cricket team can start becoming real big series now, and that's, as I said, that's why we want to play the game. But it's 22 players of probably the best, and there's some really high class players that's going to bash it out over the next 4 weeks. So it's very, very exciting.